Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Revitalise Reconnect, where I get the opportunity to meet with business owners, key connections and key influencers from the Scottish and UK business community. And today I've got the great pleasure to be with a signature speaker who's been presenting at the Revitalise Business Event at the Alona Hotel in Strathclyde Park. Today's topic is all about goal setting, and this lady certainly knows over the last 4 years of running her own business how goal settings work. And I'd like you to introduce and welcome Kimberlene Lindau from Goal Success 101. Hello, Kimberlene.
Hey, Ellie. How's it going?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Well, thanks again for today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, absolutely superb. So I'd like you to really tell everybody a little bit about your business that you've been running for the last 4 years, which is Goal Success 101.
Yes, so the business started off actually having been made redundant some time ago and seeing transformations happening in business all the time. A lot of people lose themselves when they've been taken over by an employer in many ways and in a new role. So it launched from that kind of idea of, okay, well, people need to have their own set of goals, their own purpose. So that's why I set up Goal Success 101 with the idea that you have your own set of goals, not just the business ones, and yes, that will come into it, but actually finding, your own path through life and how do you get the most out of it. So that's what I've been doing for the last 4 years, and it's been great having clients, both corporate and individuals. So
Good. So what's been the biggest challenge for you in those 4 years? What were you looking to try to overcome yourself as a challenge?
I think one of the biggest challenges is getting out there and getting known for what you know. I mean, coaching is something which some people have found very intangible, or they hear life coaching and it becomes very wishy-washy in their vision. So changing that perception that you can be really practical while having coaching, I think that's been the biggest challenge which I had, and I had to, I suppose, deal with my own concerns around that as well when I launched the business.
Yeah, and we talked about today with the goal setting, and it was a great presentation that you did at the end of the event, but we talked about the balance.
Yeah.
How did you achieve balance within business and in your own goals?
I think one of the key things for me is I've always had a holistic view of my goals. So I think it's important to have a specific goal that you're striving towards in a set period of time, but to make sure that you don't let everything else slip. So for me, it meant making sure that I had very clear visions, and my vision board's one of the ways that I do that, is to say, this is what life is supposed to be about, and this is what I'm driving towards as a whole. So that includes things like being healthy and keeping up a fitness regime, or it may be also including things like crochet. Like, I love arts and crafts, so always making sure that I work time, always make sure that I have time for me at the end of the day, as much as I do for the bigger goal.
Certainly. And what's been, if you could say to everybody out there today, what would be the perfect client to you? What's the perfect avatar as a customer that you would like to speak to?
I suppose there's two key avatars. Startup companies is definitely where I see a lot of business coming through, and that's kind of like, I love seeing people take an idea and take it to market. So that's something which I really enjoy, and I think that would be the next foray for me business-wise. And also younger demographics. I think it's really important that development and how people build up their goals is built in from a young age, because people do get to maybe 60 when they retire and they're like, oh, okay, I've been told for the last 40 years what to do and what my goals are by other people, not myself. So I think that's something that you have to start doing younger. So I do have some students and business students in particular that I've been working with as well.
And if you could, I asked this question to a few business owners over the last few episodes of Reconnect. If you could look back on yourself 4 years ago, what one piece of advice would you give to yourself starting up your business?
I think it would have been, I initially said that I wanted it to be a virtual business. So I think one of the things that I needed to get my head around is, it's not just about being virtual. Just because you have a virtual business doesn't mean that all your work is virtual. You need to get out and you need to meet people in person, which I already knew from having previous businesses or working with other businesses that weren't virtual, but I didn't translate that common sense into that for the first 4 years, and I would probably have told myself, you should have started this 3 years ago, why didn't you do it? So
good. And we always ask as well, if you could give everybody out there a tip, a golden tip, because you talked about so many things today about goal setting.
Yeah.
What would you give to everybody out there now as a golden number one tip to setting their goals right now?
To setting the goals, always make sure they're smart, but be very honest about where your starting point is. I think it's very common that we build up these images of who we are and what we're capable of, and actually being honest, and not only having other people tell us what we are or how we're good at something. Actually test yourself and know yourself really well, because that's the best way to set your goals, is when you know yourself, to be able to make that progress.
Brilliant. And I would highly recommend everybody to reach out and meet up virtually with Kimberlene to find out a bit more about the goal setting and the Goal Success 101. And if you wanted to find out more, Kimberlene, where would they go to find out more about yourself?
We've got 3 places, so you can go to Instagram. We do have an Instagram account, and that's at Goal Success 101, and that's the same for Facebook. And we also have a website, so that's www.goalsuccess101.com.
Brilliant. Well, listen, thanks very much to Kimberlene. Really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Lee.
Hope you have safe travels back down to London this afternoon.
Yes.
We look forward to seeing everybody again on Revitalise Reconnect, where I'll get the next opportunity to meet the business owner and key influencer that may make the difference to your business journey. So from me and Kimberlene, have a great rest of the week, and remember, keep connecting. Take care. Bye-bye for now.
Take care.